Just when you think everything that happened in chapter 290 couldn't be one-upped, in comes chapter 291 with just non-stop exposition, action, and just revelations that many of us might have seen coming. I know I called one of these, but at the same time was really cool to see played off. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the raws circulating around the internet for a couple of days now. I wanted to wait and get some kind of fan translation, which I finally got my hands on now before I did anything. As always, if anything changes in the official release from Viz, I will be leaving it down below. But boy oh boy, was this a crazy chapter. I mean, we start off with just seeing Toya's message being broadcast about how Endeavor used him with his greater firepower while getting some monologue from some internal monologue from Endeavor himself upon what was happening in that circumstance and how he would have done anything and given it up for him, but he saw so much potential. Now, I don't really know how I feel about that, to be honest, because, I mean, Endeavor now maybe would have done that. I don't really feel like the Endeavor of the past would have had that kind of sympathetic outlook with any kind of empathy like that, but it does definitely go to show something. I mean, Endeavor's sitting there talking about how that fire, which I'm assuming was caused by him trying to teach him the prominence burn, was caused by him trying to learn it. And that's why Endeavor felt guilty about it. Maybe that was the start of his redemption, and we'll see something there. But it was interesting to see just how willing Dobby was to sacrifice members of his own team and kind of just spread false information to try and push this narrative. Now, of course, he starts off talking about the #1 hero and how he abused him as kids and how he abused him specifically. Of course, showing a DNA test, saying, of course, that wouldn't be enough to prove the general public. Why would you trust a villain over a hero's word? Which was fair. So he shows, and this was really cold, and again, this is something I've seen speculating around with the raws and was waiting to see how accurate it is. But yeah, he took some footage of Twice getting stabbed by Hawks. Obviously not on purpose. It was edited, but talking about how he tried to save him. I'm not sure if the league's gonna buy it. I know we know the truth. I think the public will buy it because obviously they don't know what was going on. But it's really detrimental to the Hero Society there because obviously he's just knocked Endeavor down a peg with revealing his past of just the child abuse and trying to get that perfect, just top tier child that has both the quirks that have ice and fire and just trying to deal with that. Of course, while also dealing with this, saying, well, look, the #2 hero is a murderer. Then this was where it started to get a little tricky for me, was when he revealed that Hawks killed the #3 hero, Best Jeanist, while he was recovering. Now, you may remember a couple of weeks ago, I said I thought Best Jeanist would be joining the action. Once again, just finally recovering, and I was right, because the chapter ends off with Dobby going in to attack Shoto, with a prominence burn, again, obviously taunting Endeavor still, because he definitely feels like he's won. And then out of nowhere, in comes these threads with Best Jeanist saying, reporting for duty, back in action, which was awesome to see, because not only is it a cool moment of like, oh, someone swooped in at the last minute to save the day again, in like a classic hero, my hero, any other kind of hero series fashion, which of course was awesome on its own. It also throws the one possible wrench, I feel like, into Dobby's plan here, because his whole plan revolves around everyone believing that everything he just said was true. And he just said Hawks, the #2 hero who had just killed Dobby, or hadn't killed Dobby, I'm sorry, who had just killed Twice, who had also killed Best Jeanist. To have Best Jeanist arrive on the scene right now in the middle of that fight is going to throw a whole wrench in that plan. Now, of course, I won't swear that it'll obviously fix everything, but it is interesting to see in the sense that if any kind of camera crew is still there, like we saw potential for with him arriving on that plane, we could see a counter broadcast like, well, he wasn't right about this, so clearly he wasn't telling the whole truth as is. And another really interesting thing to see was we got some backstory for Hawks. Of course, it wasn't anything we really completely seen new, so much as, again, Dobby just trying to taunt Endeavor as much as he could. But we got, I think this is new, I don't remember it at the very least, a reveal that Hawks' dad was actually a criminal, and Endeavor was the one that put him away. I knew there was a reason that Hawks idolized Endeavor, obviously we've seen that before, but I just thought he liked his quick and efficient way of putting criminals away, and that was that. So it's interesting to see that fleshed out upon. Overall though, just a really good chapter full of a lot of like pertinent information. I feel like not only now, but going forward is going to be stuff we're going to be seeing drawn from and referenced into the future, because this is definitely the start of a downfall to that hero society, even more so than we've already seen, in the sense that this blow to Endeavor isn't just going to go away. But I also think it'll be interesting to see, because I do really feel like just Best Genius showing up like he did at the end there could end up being the trump card that like minimizes the damage to Hero Society, because obviously Hero Society is screwed after this. There's no way they don't take some kind of blow, much like the Mafia system that Overhaul was trying to recover from in that arc. But just now the role is reversed and it's Heroes trying to recover. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see play out either way though. Anyways guys, I don't really have much else to say. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this little rambly discussion of the chapter as always, and if you've got anything I missed or you want to talk about, put it down in the comments below and I'll be sure to address it. And as always, be sure to check those anyway, because if anything changes with the official release, as I said at the start of the video, it will be down there. MyHeroDeku, signing off.